Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Tanelia and this is Young Beauty. Today we're going to be talking about my top 10 eyeshadow palettes. A couple of you guys requested this and I finally found the time to sit down and go through my palettes and try to pick out my top 10. Picking out 10 palettes, that was the easy part. The difficult part was actually putting them in order from the bottom to the top. Some of these were so close to each other, but one may have inked out the or inched out the other just by a little bit, but let's go ahead and get started. Number 10 is my ColourPop X Sailor Moon Pretty Guardian eyeshadow palette. I really do love this palette. This one was hard, like I said, trying to put them in order, but looking at the ones that I picked, this one kind of went down on the bottom. But I love this packaging, as you can see. It kind of goes back and forth. You see the mouth, how the mouth kind of opens and closes. I think the packaging alone is just super, super adorable. I love Sailor Moon, so when I saw this, I definitely had to get it. It's funny because it took me 3 restocks on the ColourPop website and 2 restocks on Ulta before I was finally able to get the entire collection. The 3rd restock that they just did, I finally got the 2 blushes and one of the face glitters I was missing. Every single time the blushes would sell out within seconds, but I finally got them. But this is the color story for this palette. It is just so pretty. My favorite shade in this one is Luna. Luna is this really creamy metallic. Let's see if I can get a good swatch of that. Oh my god. Oh, that is just so pretty. I mean, like, the camera just does not do it justice. It shifts from like pink to purple and it has like a little bit of a blue shift under it too. It looks like wet pink glass on the eyelids. I also love these foreshadows on the bottom. These are that matte formula that has like a little bit of shimmer to it. The reason why I picked this palette for this video is because of the color story. Formula wise, it's pretty much the same as the other ColourPop palettes. It's not too different except for this purple Luna shade here, which is absolutely amazing. But the color story is very, very unique. I do not have a color story like this in any of my other eyeshadow palettes, no matter what the brand is. So that's the reason why I included this one in here, but this is number 10. Number 9 is my Baby Got Peach palette. This is also from ColourPop. I absolutely love this color story. This is a straight, true peach color story. I have some other palettes that have like peachy, coral, you know, orangey kind of undertones to them, but none of them are true peach, and that's what I was wanting. This palette is not new. This came out sometime last year, but it's new to my collection. I just got it about a month ago. But these shades are just so beautiful. They look so gorgeous on the eyes. They look very natural. I just love the beautiful peachy tones of this palette. That's the reason why I chose this one. The only reason why it's at number 9 is because of the shade right here, which is a pressed glitter. That one is called Hungry Ghost. You guys know how I feel about pressed glitters. If it were not for this pressed glitter right here, this one may have been bumped up a little bit more into the top 10, but because of that pressed glitter right there, that's why it's number 9. Number 8 in my top 10 is the Disney Mulan Warrior Reflection palette. This is actually a Hot Topic palette. This is the thing about Hot Topic. Their eyeshadow formula is like hit or miss. Sometimes it can be really, really good, like with this one, and also with my Supernatural palette. It's over there. You can't really see it in the background, but it's sitting over there on the shelf. These two are really, really good formulas. Now, as for this one right here, which is the Moana palette, that palette is so bad. Powdery, chalky, no pigment whatsoever. They did my girl Moana wrong. But this palette, this one is so beautiful. On the front, you have the Guardian. You have Cricky. You open it up. There are 2 mirrors, one on each side. You have Mushu over here. One side is kind of a warm, bronzy, coppery kind of color story, and the other side is more cool with purples and these cool tone blues up here. Oh my god. This formula blends like a dream. This is better than some of the other more higher end or more name brand type palettes that I have. For a Hot Topic palette, this one is so gorgeous. I'm going to go ahead and swatch a couple for you. Let's swatch Mushu, Bloom, and Great Stone Dragon. Y'all, this formula is so beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and swatch these real quick. These are so silky, so buttery. These actually blend better than some of my ColourPop shimmers. Oh my god, they're just so beautiful, especially This one, I actually did a video where I did 2 looks using this palette just because I want to play around with it. I will drop a card for that up in here somewhere so you guys can check that out if you want to. But the formula in this palette, it is just absolutely beautiful. And that is my number 8. Number 7 is my Tokyo Harajuku palette. This is from Nomad. This is my very first Nomad Cosmetics eyeshadow formula. It is absolutely beautiful. This packaging is very, very kawaii. You have hearts. Okay, you have ice cream, rabbits, cats. It's kind of what it looks like up close. Very, very kawaii themed. The one thing about the Nomad eyeshadow palettes is that all their palettes are themed from like different places around the world that the owners have traveled to. And obviously this is a Tokyo, Japan themed palette. This color story is just, oh my God, very pastel, very kawaii. And let me show you. There's like these little cats in here that are embossed into the palette. That is just absolutely beautiful. That detail, absolutely gorgeous. The only reason why this did not rank higher is because of this shade right here, which is called Now Is Forever. I used this in the video where I did my first impressions of this palette, and that one just, it didn't blend very well, and I wasn't getting the pigment payoff from it that I was hoping to get. The shadows themselves blend like butter. This one though just wasn't as pigmented as I would like. The reason why I included this one in this ranking is because of the metallics on the bottom. Oh my God, they are so beautiful. Shiny, wet, buttery smooth. Let's see, let's do a couple. This one is Zaku Zaku, and we're going to do Moshi Moshi, and then we're going to do Decor. If you watched my video where I did my first impressions, oh my God, I was butchering the heck out of these names, and I'm probably still butchering them, but that's what those 3 shimmers look like right there. Just absolutely beautiful, wet, and shiny. But like I said, all the shades in here are just so beautiful. The Nomad formula is absolutely gorgeous. The only reason why I didn't rank higher is because of this shade, but it's a beautiful palette, and this is number 7. Number 6 is my Sugarpill Capsule Collection palette. This is volume 2. This one is the orange palette. First of all, this packaging is so on point. It is absolutely gorgeous. The first one that they launched was a pink theme. I haven't gotten that one yet. You guys know I'm more into the orangey, corally kind of tones. But this packaging is just so cute. I mean, it looks just like a pill. You open it up, you have the mirror on the inside, and this is what the color story looks like. It is just beautiful. This one right here, that shade is called Retrograde. Retrograde is actually a blush. Everything else in here are shadows. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes. So basically all the small circles are mattes. And then the bigger circles here, these are shimmer metallics. This shade right here, which is called Moonshine, this is one of the most unique shimmery mattes that I have in my entire collection. And these shades, oh my God, the formula feels like butter. Oh my God, that is so gorgeous. See, this one has, I don't know if you can see that, but it shifts from like a purple to a blue to like a grayish pink. The camera is like doing it no justice, but oh my God, that is one of the most beautiful and unique shades that I have in my entire collection. This one was like so close to being in the top 5, just so close. But I had some other ones that inched out just a little bit more. But this is number 6. And now for my top 5. Number 5 is my e.l.f. x JKissa eyeshadow palette. This is a collaboration between JKissa and e.l.f. This is their second collaboration, I believe. She did another one last year. This packaging is on point. We all know usually whenever you get an e.l.f. eyeshadow palette, there's nothing on the top. It's just clear plastic, but this one is an actual palette. She made this white. It actually came with stickers, so you can like decorate it with the stickers. I gave the stickers to my daughter. I kind of wanted to keep it white like this, but she said you could also paint it, and it was like a paintable surface. And there's a mirror in the inside. We definitely do not see that with e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes, so that also kind of helped to rank this one a little bit higher. But this color story, this rainbow color story, oh my God, this is a rainbow dream. As you guys know, I usually don't have a good experience with the e.l.f. eyeshadow formula. Every palette that I have used before, it's not consistent. They're like one formula may be slightly better than another, but I feel like the formula is just not consistent across the board. It's usually kind of patchy. They don't blend very well. The pigment is not very good. I have 2 other eyeshadow palettes. I have the Retro Paradise, that one I did not like at all. It's like that one was a completely different formula from this one. It just did not blend well at all. I also have one of the bite-sized palettes. I think it's the berry one. Now that one is really nice, but that just goes to show you of the inconsistency in the e.l.f. eyeshadow formula. This one just barely pushed out the Sugarpill one because of the color story, because of the formula. I love these rainbow shades. I had so much fun playing with this palette. I also have a video that I did using it. I'll drop a card for that one too in case you guys want to watch that one. But I found the shadows to be, the mattes to blend very well, to be very pigmented. I did see, some people say they didn't like it, but for me it worked just fine. I thought that it was very pigmented, very blendable. And the shimmers on the top, I felt like they blended really well too. Let's go ahead and we'll swatch a couple of these just so you guys can kind of see what they look like. I went ahead and cleaned my hand from the first batch so that I can move on to the second batch. Let's see, I think that they blend pretty well. Now in a swatch, this one is not looking its absolute best, but on the eyelid, it blended just fine. I got just a decent amount of pigment, but this formula to me personally, is a beautiful rainbow palette. And that's the e.l.f. JKissa palette. And that one is number 5. We are almost done. This video is kind of moving a little bit faster than I was expecting it to, but we're now in the top 4. Number 4 is my Gay Bestie palette from Camarillo Beauty. This one you guys have probably never heard of. This is from JC Camarillo. JC is a smaller beauty blogger, and when I say smaller, I mean he's smaller. He's an independent brand. This was his very first launch. This one, and I think he launched lipsticks that also went with it. I will drop the link down below. In fact, every palette that I'm talking about today, if I can find it and it's still available, I will drop the links down below so you guys can check them out if you're interested. But this palette, and I think the lipsticks were his very first launch. He just recently launched some lip glosses. I have not been on the website in a while. I need to check it out to see if he's launched anything else. This palette is absolutely beautiful. It's kind of a neutral, bronzy kind of a theme, and I love this packaging. This cover is just gorgeous with the roses and stuff. As you can see, it's kind of thick, and the reason for that is because there is a voice box in this. When you open it up, JC actually recorded a little message in the inside. You have this one, and you also have the one that doesn't have the voice box in it. So if you don't want to hear anything when you open it up, there's the option for that too. But I'm going to go ahead and open it so you guys can hear what the message sounds like.
Hey friend, you're going to slay this look. Today's your day, so everything and anything you do is going to be amazing.
On the inside, you have a small mirror. That's a little drawing, kind of an animated image of JC right there. And this is what the color story looks like. These are some of the most beautiful mattes and shimmers. The only one in here that I'm not fond of course, is Slay. Slay is kind of a pressed glitter, which is one of the reasons why this didn't rank higher. Also, because of the voice box. What I wish he'd done is put like an on and off switch on it, because every single time you open the palette, it says that message. And it's fine and all, but it gets a little bit old after a while, so I wish there was like an on and off switch so you didn't have to hear it automatically when you opened up the palette. But that and the pressed glitter is one of the reasons why I put it lower in my ranking. This one right here, Come Through. This is one of the most beautiful gold shimmers I have in my collection. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh my God, you see that? Oh my God. That is like pure solid gold. Oh! Absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous. And it looks like wet gold metal on the eyelids. All the mattes in here are creamy. They're silky. They're buttery. Oh my God. This is your like neutral nude dream. And everything even swatches so well. On the eyelids, they blend like absolute butter. This is one of my absolute favorite neutral nudie matte formulas that I have in my collection. It is just a gorgeous formula. Another reason why I rank this a little bit lower is because of the mirror. I understand what he did. You know, you have him right here. He's holding up the mirror and he's giving you a little motivational speech whenever you open the palette. And it's a very cute concept, but I would have liked a bigger mirror. But this is a gorgeous beautiful formula. Definitely go to his website. Definitely check it out. I definitely believe it is one that's worth getting. But that's the Gay Bestie palette from Camarillo, and that is NumberFour. Number 3 is the Lavidunprince palette from BH Cosmetics. This is also a collaboration. Oh my god, the packaging here with the butterflies, so beautiful. This one is kind of a neon palette, has a mirror on the inside. This color story is just so gorgeous. I did a video using this one too. I had so much fun putting this one together, and I had no problem whatsoever using these. All these shades down here, blended, absolutely beautiful, so gorgeously pigmented, so neon and bright and shiny on the eyelids. Let's see, we'll swatch some of these just so you can see what they look like. Oh my god, look at that pigment. 1, 2, ooh, my god, absolutely beautiful. Look at that pigment. Just so gorgeous. This is one of my absolute favorite neon palettes I have in my collection. In fact, I think this is the only one I have that just has, it's neon, that has shades that are this bright and this neon. And this packaging is just so on point. The shimmers in here, there's 1, 2, I think those are the only 2. Yeah, these 2 right here are the shimmers in here. And they are just so shiny wet. So metallic. BH Cosmetics makes some of the most beautiful eyeshadow formulas. Theirs can be a little bit hit and miss too. Sometimes it just kind of depends. Sometimes they can be a little bit patchy. I also have the new ones from the Sweet Shop that I just got. I love those too, but they didn't quite make it into this ranking, mainly because the color stories were like a little different than what I thought. I was expecting like a really, really orange and really, really red, and they were a little bit off, and they weren't quite what I was expecting. So that's the only reason why they didn't make it in this collection. But this palette, this formula, it is absolutely gorgeous. So pigmented, so bright, so colorful. If you're wanting to put together just a really nice, bright neon look, this palette is absolutely perfect for that. And this is the Lavidunprince palette, and this is number 3. We are down to my last 2 palettes, number 2 and number 1. These were really hard. They were so close. I mean, both of these could be ranked number 1, but I had to pick one. That was really, really difficult, but these 2 were so close together. Number 2 is the Violet Voss Sakura palette. Sakura Blossom 18 color eyeshadow and pressed pigment palette. Oh my god. This formula is amazing, and this packaging, it's so beautiful. You guys know that if it is Korean or Japanese based, I absolutely love it. I first saw this on Trend Mood. When I saw it, I was like, yeah, I am definitely going to pick this up, and I'm so glad I did. This is also my first experience with Violet Voss. The formula, it is gorgeous. You have the mirror in here, and it has like the little Sakura blossoms. Sakura means cherry blossom in Japanese, so they're cherry blossoms, and you have that on the outside of the mirror, which is gorgeous. And this formula, oh my god, it blends like a dream. For me, this is a pretty good dupe for the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette. Not formula-wise. I mean, this is gorgeous, beautiful. But I'm not saying duping the formula. I mean duping the color story. I can combine this with like the BH Cosmetics Cherry on Top palette and like a couple, I have a Juvia's Place palette, a couple other palettes. Even some of the shadows and what's going to be my number 1 palette I can combine. But this, as far as the shades, pretty dupeable to the pinky shades that are in that Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette. So if you're looking for something that will kind of dupe that, you don't want to support Jeffree, this is definitely a good one. I think this was even, I think this cost less too. This one was $42. I think the Jeffree Star one may have been a little bit more. I'm not sure. I'll have to check that out. But this color story is absolutely gorgeous. Even the lighter shades like Spring here, which is kind of a lighter pinky toned here, kind of the color of a pig. I would say like pig pink right here, was very, very pigmented. Every single one of these pinks. Look at that. See that? So much pigment. And like I said, this is an eyeshadow and a pressed pigment. Pressed pigments are listed as being, not being eye safe, my word, man, those swatches suck, but you get the idea. The main reason for that is not because it's just unsafe to put on your eyelids, but because pressed pigments can stain. So that's the reason why they have to put that little eye safe warning there. I haven't had any issue with staining. In general though, when it comes to pressed pigments, Staining is just something that I've never had an issue with. I don't know, maybe I just have very unique eyelids that just resist staining. The mattes in here, they're just so buttery, pigmented, they blend so well. These shimmers, they feel like silk. Oh my God, they are so gorgeous. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Ooh, you see that? So wet. So glossy. Ugh. Guys, I am in that wet metallic lover's dream right there with those. Oh, so gorgeous. I also have the Violet Voss Electric 2 that came out of one of my BoxyCharm boxes, and I have to say I was disappointed in that one. That formula, it is not the same as this one. That one was patchy, powdery, dry, chalky. I don't know if the palette was just old and that was the issue, but it definitely did not feel the same way as this one. But this one is just such a beautiful formula, beautiful color story, just gorgeous all around. And this, my Sakura palette, is number 2. And that brings us to my number 1 palette in my top 10, and that is my Midas Cosmetics X Smoky Glow. This palette is so gorgeous. If you guys don't know who Smoky Glow is, I will drop her YouTube channel down below. She's one of my absolute favorite YouTubers. I did a video for this on my birthday. It was like my birthday present to myself, was this palette, and I filmed my video, my first impressions using it on my birthday. I would definitely drop the card in this video so you guys can check that one out. Her name is Hannah. She's so sweet, so funny. She does makeup tutorials, first impressions. She does a lot of commentary on her videos, so she has like a variety of all kinds of things. When she announced that she had this collaboration coming with Midas Cosmetics, I was so excited and so happy for her. She is so deserving of a collaboration. But first you have the packaging, which is this kind of a shiny iridescent packaging. It leaves like a glare with the ring light, but you open it up. There's a mirror. On the bottom of the mirror, it says, "Hi friends." Hi friends is what she says every time she opens up the video. And this is what the color story looks like. Every single shade in here is right up my alley. You have purples, you have a pop of red, you have this really kind of a orangey peachy shade right here. This little kind of a lavender orchid pink, like a little darker one and a little bit lighter. Like I said, this one can also work pretty well, some of the shades in here, to help dupe some of the shades that are in that Jeffree Star palette if you're looking for something, you know, to dupe them with. This was my first experience with Midas. Midas is an independent brand. This is currently my only Midas Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. I have been wanting to try some more. I just haven't had a chance to, but the shades, very, very pigmented. They blend so well. Oh my God, just absolutely gorgeous. The metallics in this palette, like butter, blend like a dream. My favorite one in here is Leno. Leno reminds me a lot of the Luna shade in the Sailor Moon ColourPop palette, but a little bit different. Just, oh my God, look at that. Beautiful purple, shiny wetness. I'm going to swatch that one. I'm going to do a couple of others. Nutty. Nutty has kind of this purple, blue, shifty kind of iridescence to it. Then we have a Rant and Group Chat. I think I'm going to swatch those right there. Oh my God, that is so beautiful. Hannah picked out the color story herself. She also picked out the finishes. I think she did such a wonderful job. Like, look at those. Just so beautiful and shiny and wet and smooth. If you watch her channel, then you know this color story, this is right up her alley. Like, this is exactly something that I would think that she would have picked out. She was so excited about this collection, which made me more excited about it. I believe it's currently in stock. I'm not sure. Like I said, I will drop the link down below so you guys can check that out. I got it on its first initial launch. If it's in stock, I definitely recommend getting it. I picked this as my number 1 because of the color store and because every single shade in here is a shade I would use. We all know that almost with every single palette you get, you may use like 3 or 4 shades in the palette, but there may be a bunch of them that you know you would never ever use. Every single shade in this palette I would use. Every single shimmer, metallic, finish, foil, everything is on point and gorgeous. That is the reason why I rank this as my number 1. That is the Midas Cosmetics Smoky Glow palette. I highly recommend it. Like I said, This is number 1. And that was my top 10 favorite eyeshadow palettes. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Like I said, and a few of you had recommended it, and it did take me a while to get to it, and I apologize for that. I just had so much going on. I mean, this last week has been like super busy, but I'm glad that I was finally able to sit down and do it. I'm also going to be doing a top 10 blush video coming soon too, so be on the lookout for that one. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you hit subscribe and join my little family. And if you would like to be notified of any videos that may be coming up in the future, just be sure to tap the notification bell down below. You'll be notified each and every time. Be safe, guys. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.